Hi everyone, it's Lynn from Homestead Oz, and I'm finally getting around to showing you some of my preserves I've done this year and a few last year. Now this video is just going to be a basic go over before I show you how to really do it. The reason why I'm doing that is most people are telling me they're lacking confidence in pressure canning, they're lacking confidence in water bathing, and all I can say is it's very easy, and people have been doing it for hundreds of years. In fact, even in Egyptian times they water bathed food, so it's been around a long time, and if thousands were dying from it, I'm sure they would have stopped it long time ago. I will be having in the description box the that I always do that are for free, that you can just download, that will explain exact times and temperatures for each different food, because so many different foods have different times to cook them. Like meat has, I think pint jars are 75 minutes, you must do the meats, and the quart jars for meat are 90 minutes. So basically I just want to say that I do ferments as well as preserving in jars. I have for years, and I'll start with the beetroot. Now this beetroot was from our garden. There's a lot of you new from our garden videos. We grew a lot of beetroot. This is just one. I think I've got about 5 of these, and we've eaten a lot already, and I've got more beetroot growing. Now all that is just boiled up for about minutes. Depends, you just got to test one. Different sizes, these were just medium size, so they only took 30 minutes to get really tender. They were already really tender beetroot, and I just put it in my homemade apple cider vinegar, no sugar, no salt, and my homemade apple cider vinegar is so sweet anyway, which I've said, that it makes a really beautiful beetroot. So that's one lot of preserves I do. Most of you are interested in is the canning side. I'll go through what I have got just here. I've got a lot more stuff in the prep shed, as we call it, but I'll just go through what I just grabbed quickly here because it's 9 p.m. at night and I thought I'd just grab a few things. So first off, there's these little jars that Wayne and I use. You can see that one's got corn in it and peas. I hope you can see that. And I have that size just for the 2 of us, so that'll make 2 meals, actually 2 side dishes for us, that one little thing. This is chicken and veggies. I do make stews up, and as you'll see in a minute. Now that's enough for Wayne if I'm away, which is not very often, but I've made little jars up for him just for a meal, and he can have some toast with it too. So that's, I think, sweet and sour chicken with lots of veggies in it. I've also got beans I've done. Now, and the potatoes, they were a flop. Wayne doesn't like them, I don't like them. I need to improve doing potatoes. I think they were just awful potatoes anyway, this one lot. It was one bush that was really awful, and I thought, oh, I'll just can them up and put in stews, but no, they're not very nice. So these jars that I'm showing you here have been pressure canned because they're low acid foods. Beans are low acid, chicken is low acid, any meats are low acid, carrots are low acid. In the books you will see all the low acid foods and all the high acid foods. So high acid foods you can actually water bath. So when you raise the temperature to 240 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 115.56 Celsius in the pressure canner, that kills all the botulism, that kills all the botulism in your food. It's sealed and nothing can get in. So many people worry, well, what if it sits there too long? Something might get in there. Nothing can get in there once it's sealed and tight. Now if the lid comes loose over time, yes, then air can get in, then the spores and of different, E. coli, that kind of thing can get in, but botulism is the main concern for most people. Once they're sealed, no botulism at all. Once you raise it to 240 degrees Fahrenheit or 115.56 degrees Celsius, you have pressure canning, you have no problem if you do the right time. You've got to do that length of time that the books say, which I follow. Some people cut it short, some people make it longer. I just stick to it, and 90 minutes for a quart jar and 75 minutes for a pint jar for non-acid foods. Okay, so getting on to some other things I've done. Here are lemons off our tree. That's in a green jar, and I got these from the op shop. Ball did make green jars and blue jars for a little while. I just grabbed these for I think 10 cents each, so that was great. But I do preserve lemons because I use them in cooking a lot, and sometimes during the year you don't have lemons, so I've always got quite a few jars of these on hand. Plus they're only just done in water, so I can make a lemon drink out of them as well. So that's my lemons. Here I've got in this can, I have carrots, zucchini, tomatoes and squash. Now, this is a little bit of rebel canning. A lot of people say it just doesn't turn out nice zucchini. Well, I love it. I put a whole jar into a casserole with some meat in winter time and add a few spices and seasonings, and then add some rice on the side once it's cooked, and there's a great meal. So this is really easy, guys, easier than what you think. I know some of you are already converted, that you're already doing canning, but there's a lot that are asking me, Lynn, we're nervous about canning, and I really didn't want to start off doing, well, this is how you do this and that's how you do that, because that's not giving you confidence. I want to give you motivation and confidence to see how easy it is. So I want to explain things first. This one here is a pork, sweet and sour pork I made. As I say, you can just do the meats on their own. A lot of people choose to do that. Sometimes I'm in a hurry, so I make the whole lot up, and the vegetables just cook the same time as the meat. And I haven't found any problem with the vegetables. They're not too soggy, they're not too yucky. I'm happy with that. But that's your prerogative. You can just do the meats on their own. This one here is sausages and vegetables. I used to cook sausages. That was a fail because the curry went really sour, really bitter after a time, and I didn't like that at all. So that's sausages. I can add the curry later, add the rice later. There's an instant meal. And here is a beef stew I made up. So that's got about, looks like here, about 7 different varieties of vegetables in it. The beef, I did raw pack the beef in these just to experiment. They always say, here's another good point to know, you can hot pack or cold pack. And with hot packing, you cook the meat how you want to cook it beforehand, then you add some water or stock to it, and then you pressure can. Usually when you cold pack, you never add any liquid. They always say don't add liquid. Well, this one I did, and all I've got to do is add corn flour, and I've used a few of these and they're beautiful. So there you go. Okay, so they were the pressure cans that I've got there, and here I've got my fowlers, which are all been water bathed. These are beautiful apricots that I did. This here is again zucchini, squash, onion, tomato, carrot, and just a little tiny bit of salt. That's all that's got in it. So I have lots of these on hand for casseroles and stews and soups and all the rest of it. And here we have, everyone saw them before, the beautiful pears that we did. I've got lots of jars of them I've been doing. And here is a fail. So the potatoes were a fail. They just didn't turn out very nice texture, so I won't be doing them again. You can probably see what the fail is here with the plums that I have here. I put them whole and squashed them down with the pips in it because I was lazy that day. I had buckets of plums and I just thought, I'm not going to cut them up. Well, as you can see, as they cooked, the plums just disintegrated, and I've got all that gap. I've had that gap since I pulled them out of the water bath. So my suggestion is cut the plums in half, take the pip out. It's a lot more work, but you'll get a better, you'll fit in probably another 10 plums in there if I'd done it the proper way, not being lazy. So that was the Fowler's jar, which a lot of people don't know what they are. They're the lids that I showed on my previous video with pears. Here is the ball jar with pears. They basically hold the same amount, but a different lid system, which is basically all it is. Now, I also wanted to say that I make my own jams. It's blackberry jam, strawberry jam. I've got some marmalade here, and a lot of Australians will recognise these jars. They're the Cotties jars. So I had some friends and I got some from the op shop, second-hand jars. Just came home and sterilised them, and there you go. I just put all my jam in second-hand jars. So the lid's still sealed, they're totally sealed. They've popped down with the heat and they'll keep for a couple of years, no worries. I do have a lot of jars. I use the quart jars for a lot of things. So along with canning, you can also just store soups in the fridge with these, and you can pasta sauces, whatever. So I have a lot of these jars on hand. I also keep pasta jars from my daughters. I ask them to save them for me. And they're great for storing things in your fridge because they're glass, you know, and instead of throwing them away, you may as well use them for something. I use them for dry goods as well. And the last thing I wanted to say was I actually have, it's red feather but canned butter. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about the canned butter. Here it is again, the red feather, and that's the brand, and it's delicious. It's just wonderful, but I will be canning my own butter as well, which is really easy. It's best to use unsalted butter when you can, because the grains of the salt in the butter can make the canned butter go very grainy, but that's another story. We'll go into that another day. But that's just a quick update of where I'm at with my canning. I will be doing more apples, so you will be seeing me do the apples. Apples usually take 20 minutes to water bath, and they take, probably half an hour to get all organised. So I'll cut the video right down not to bore you. This is the thing I'm trying to do, guys, is we're a community here, but we haven't got much time, so I really don't want to be spending a lot of time showing you all the finer details. I just want to really give you a lot of confidence. The main thing is you've got your high acid foods, your low acid foods. Pressure canning is done because you can get it up to a temperature of 240, like I said, and water bathing usually is about 214 on average. That's what you do. But look at the books that I have in the description box. They explain everything to you, and it's quite easy just to photocopy those sheets off and put in a cookbook or something, and you can always have that as a reference too if you don't want to use the soft copies that I have all the time. It's a lot easier. Anyway, guys, you have a great night. It's pouring rain here. Pray for the people who have flooding everywhere around Australia at the moment. They're not in a good way. Thank you for all the prayers for Wayne. I really appreciate it. And Wayne does too. It's really lifted his spirits the last week, how many people have been caring for him in the community. And you guys have a great week. God bless, and we will see you soon.